Hey, hi everyone. Myself Bhagyashree, and today we will talk about the full stack development and how to prepare and what is the skill set we have for the full stack development and what the things we have to be know as a prerequisite and what is the component like we are using to become a full stack developer. What is the entity we are having for the full stack developer. So on that, I'm just going to discuss, and I'm already a software engineer and working as a full stack developer with the Azure. And so that's why I'm going to share my experience and what is the requisite requirement for the development purpose as a full stack, or the key stack we have to be know. We will discuss and we will getting the valuable information from this video. So let's start with that. First of all, we have to know like what is the full stack. Right now, market is very competitive. You are a front end developer, or you are a back end developer, or you are a database developer. Everyone have a some specialization, but if all these three combination having in a one person, that person will be a becoming a full stack developer. So full stack developer is a like highly regarded professional ground within the field of web development over the period of time. But what is a full stack developer? We have to know. So in the general terms, I will say like the web developer who are capable to work with the two major sides, which are front end and back end, usually skilled aspects of computer programming, UI and user experience design like UI UX, overall project management process, and in many cases the client communication is needed. So that is a package of the full stack development, and as a developer have been demanded due to the facilitation in all the aspect of the software cycle. And that's why full stack we are like having in the market, and which is very demanding skill set, which are demanding very like cream of that development side, I will say. uh, So actually, we are going to start. Before that, I am just welcoming to my channel in the Bhagyashree Tech, and hope you like it. And for that, please like, share, and subscribe this channel. Okay. So after the knowing the like what is the full stack developers, we have to be know like in the full stack development purpose we have a certain role. So what is the role in the full stack we are considering? If you are a full stack means what you are doing on that. So full stack developers role having like generally work on the front end and back end web development skills primarily, and the handling of the wide variety of the task of building and maintaining a digital playground such as a web pages. And the position depend on the like multiple factors such as the versatility, adaptability, innovating thinking, and attention to the technical programming knowledge and high level of the client communication. You have a knowledge, you have a front end, you have a back end, all this stuff, but you have a some additional point that is a communication, and the communication is a technical programming knowledge, high level of client communication, because you are working with the US client or not a US client. There is a common language, we have a English, and which we have to be very good, very strong over there for communicating purpose, for transferring your knowledge over there with your communication skill set. So before getting started with the role of full stack developer, we need to be well versed with the both the aspect of the front end and back end engineering to have a command over both of them as an engineer. So there are two primary side as I discussed, front end and back end. So in the front end, what the skill set we have, in the back end, what the skill set we have, I am going to discuss here. So as a full stack developer, in the front end side, we have like uh, user interfaces that is like visible to end users. It may include like multiple aspects of the web application as a UI, cross-browser compatibility across the devices, and the overall visual presentation across the application. So in other words, I will say like we can say that the front-end developer create everything which is the user see on the screen and experience navigating around the application. Like you are visiting any website, you are just doing login and registration, so that UI you are seeing as a front end side. When you are submitting and then you are getting some response, welcome to this website, so that response is coming from the backend side, server side, so they are as a backend development. As a front-end development tends to utilize the multiple programming languages such as JavaScript, HTML5, CSS3 to make the UI project are more engaging and interactive while sticking at the latest code standard and the mechanism. That is part of the front-end side. Come to the back-end development. While the front-end developer work on the UI layer, the back-end developer work on the core part of the system, like which is the data management. And the back-end developer work closely with the front-end developer to provide the data assistance, manage the databases and its infra, design back-end application structure, manage security, accessibility, concern, and so on the back-end side. So that's why it is a very, very, very good knowledge having a side, front end as well as the back end. But more precisely, we are known like backbone of the application is a back end developer. Sorry. So we just getting the high level of the what is the back end and front end. Coming to the like tech stack, what we are using as a front end side, what we are using as a back end side, which will be having a knowledge for the prior before starting to anything on the as a full stack developer. So the view in the front end programming language, it is important like while working as a full stack developer, it is a core part of the application like which is used by the end users, and you have to be knowledge about, as I already mentioned, HTML, JavaScript, JSON, XML, CSS. Right now Angular, React is a very booming for the UI side. When we are discussing about the front end side, we cannot forget the value of the JavaScript nowadays. Like it is one of the most dynamic scripting language used by the developer for achieving the high interactivity and enhanced front end development. However, because of its dynamic nature, it could be used for both purpose, that is front end as well as the back end application development. You see right now we are using the TypeScript and the Angular, so it is not only for the UI side, we are also working as a backend side like object oriented like this thing. And for the backend programming language, apart from the front end developer, it is a crucial part of the software development lifecycle, and for that, the full stack developer should have the knowledge of the technical programming language of of anything like or C sharp or C or C++, Java, Python like that. So developer can opt for any of the programming language for the backend application, and that communicate with the front end layer of the application through the concept of the application programming interfaces that connect back end app to the front end from the data manipulations. Then after the back end front end, there is a other entity which we have to be compulsory have to be know as a full stack developer, version control system. So what is a version control system? It's like we are creating a code, and for that code purpose we have a some location or some repository which we can put our code. So for that purpose, this management tool is known as a version control system. Right now you are using Git, GitLab, AWS code commit, and relational version control so that the developer across the application can maintain the code base in a way that anyone can work with the same project structure. And because of that, the code tracking is useful for to maintain every single sort of the code changes, document, config file, and the developer should have a knowledge of various git command to work with version control system, git initialization, git add, git commit, git stash, merge, all that stuff. Then after that, the architecture part. In the full stack developer, architecture is also one of the component. Without that, you are not creating anything, any useful application. So architect of the application is a very primary concern while it comes to the enterprise application design, because it's the way we define the software architecture. It will be quite easy to get the better maintainability, accessibility and core usability and certain computational tasks. And architecture wise, we are having like MVC architecture, monolithic architecture, microservices architecture. So as per the business law, business demand suited, we have to be choose which architecture is best for us. Then we have a database part. So in the database management platform, all the web and mobile based application need a database platform first of all. All the data of the application can be stored. This is ensure that the developer can access the data whenever needed by accessing it through the APIs. So database storage is a skill that a developer should know that include the relational database storage mechanism throughput, and the full stack developer must be able to adapt certain skills while working with the database management, such as they should be able to design a database schema, understand and manipulate the database query according to the data requirement. And they must also know to work with the XML JSON format, which is widely used data format while sending the data from backend system. So XML JSON one of the format which we are sending from the client side to the backend. And next we have our communication skills. Apart from all the technical aspects, communication skill is a very important, which is used for the collaboration with the product owner, happen periodically. Like we have a meeting, so in the meeting we have to be communicated in the English, and it is happen periodically. Scrum meeting, agile methodology we are following to get the feedback of the product what you are developed. And it is also include the effectiveness of communication with the team members and team leads and project manager, account manager and the team of the client. So this is a very crucial part. Then next we can say that task management tool. So it is like while working in the collab or with the team across the world, the software development can be traced by the task for which is functionality. Like and it can be managed by the certain task management tools such as Jira, HubSpot, Flow, etc. So we are assigning some token ID or Jira ID to work with the developer. At the end, we have to track is it done or not. So for that, this task management tools is using right now. Then after that, task management tools, as a full stack developer, the roles every day they are doing and what is the responsibility they are handling, which we have to be know. Roles and responsibility and the task they are doing. So we are all familiar. We are all familiar with the brief about like what is a full stack developer tools, technique, everything we have to be know for the becoming a full stack developer. But in the company, in the real life, as a developer, what we are actually doing over there. So we have so much task over there. Like we have to work with the group of development team and product manager to define the robust software solution. Then we are writing the effective API to using for the various backend framework and languages. Then build the front-end application through the user-centric design approach and visual experience. Then design client-side and server-side architecture for getting the better accessibility and scalability. Next, we say like test the newly designed software to ensure that the highest level of responsiveness and the efficiency. Then next we see like develop and manage database system and applications. Then what other tools we are doing? Yeah, troubleshooting, debug and upgrade the existing software. Like you already developed something, but at the user side they are getting the error. They are not getting the expected result. So sometimes that should be happen. We have to be support that one also. And apply a robust security environment and the user data protecting setting. You develop the things good, but we have to be security over there also. Any malicious code, any cross-site scripting, any like cross positive token, we have to be protect every possible way which we can try, and continuously working with the data scientists and business analysts to improve the software periodically through the feedback, and build features. Like you already have a certain application which is already working on, but in the future perspective client requirement, some enhancement and feature is coming, we have to be develop that one also. Then client communications, then attending a scrum or related meeting for the task measurement across the team. We have a like scrum meeting in the weekly, bi-weekly, so we are discussing what the things we are doing, where we are stucking. If we are stucking, can we get the help from some other team member who is good already in that, so any one of them is coming to helping over there also. And after that, we have a technical documentation. What you build, what you deploy. Then for that all purpose, we have some release over there. So for that purpose, again we have to create one of the technical documentation which is already given by the company, which we have a standard template which we can mention like who is author, who is owner of these models, what they are developing, what is the component they are doing, how much task they are completed, how much are they are spending on this one. All this stuff we have to maintain here in the technical documentation. And I will summarize like primary role of the full stack developer include end-to-end development, architect, front-end, back-end application, managing the database system, performing the certain operation like cloud such as container management, server configuration. Apart from that, logical thinking and effective communication drive a full stack developer a way forward. I already working on this thing from the 2 and 3 years. I was before the 2 3 years I was not working with the cloud, but for the deployment side as an infra side, I'm using the Azure cloud platform for our applications, and also I'm developing the certain features already working with the Microsoft. So this is the whole summarization. I will say like for the full stack development purpose, we have a knowledge, we have a prerequisite, and roles and responsibility what we are handling right now in daily to daily task in my current organization. I discuss here, and after that also we have a one thing which we have to be compulsory know what is the packages we are getting. See, this is one of the example I'm already taken here is screenshot. You just see as a fresher, as a median, as an expertise level what you are getting. Okay, I think I already discussed more such content, more insightful information about the full stack development, roles and responsibility, the requirement and the prerequisite, the coding and the tech stack what we are using, and hopes like it will be good for all of you. And the upcoming video, if you like certain things as per your suggestion, I will create in my upcoming video. And from the next video I will create one of the full stack development which you are getting the information what is the backend I'm using, what the front end side I'm using, what's the version control I'm using, the completion, like it is a package in the one video. If you want to such type of project or video, please comment it down. I will create in my upcoming video. Till then, thank you. Bye. Meet you in the next video. Happy coding.